Now, we are going to discussing about solar system. In a solar system, the system it is gravitationally bound with comprising of sun and objects which are orbited either directly or indirectly. These objects that sun which is stable in the largest 8 are the planets we have, with the remainder being significantly smaller objects such as dwarf planets and small solar system bodies. So, the solar system which are formed 4.6 billion years ago from the gravitational collapse of a giant interstellar molecular cloud. The vast majority of solar systems and the system mass which included that sun, with most of the remaining mass it's contained in a Jupiter. Yeah, again the 4 smaller inner planets we have like Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, which are terrestrial planets. We are calling these are terrestrial planets, and being primarily composed of rock and other metals. So, that we will again we will see the search or see for other material on a Mars, or we continue on a research on Venus also. Because of the earth, whatever it's contain the compositions, rock compositions maybe, or morphological features, whatever it is there, the same formations we will see on Mars also. The 4 outer planets are giant planets. We are calling those are giant planets. It's a being substantially more successive or massive than the terrestrials. So, that the 2 largest planets also we have, like one it is Jupiter and another one it is Saturn, and we are also calling those as a gas giants also, which are composed mainly hydrogen and helium must. The other 2 outermost planets which are Uranus and Neptune, these are all the maximum filled by the ice material. So, that we are calling it is as a ice giants. All planets have almost circular orbits that lie within a nearly flat disk. It is called as a elliptical mode. So, the elliptical as per elliptical, these planets will be rotated. Then solar wind stream, which are charged particles by the flowing of outwards from the sun, and it is creating the bubbles like a region. Bubbles like a region it will be creating in the interstellar medium. It is known as a heliosphere. It is known as a heliosphere. Heliopause, it is the point which pressure from the solar wind, and it is opposing pressure. That means, the pressure when it will become towards, and again the opposition also it will be creating the pressure, the opposing pressure onto the interstellar medium. The solar system it is located in the Orion arm. Approximately it has a 26,000 light years from center of the Milky Way. We have a Milky Way inclusion of a galaxy, and then what about their structure and composition. Yeah, the science of geology, it is a deal the structure and the composition of different materials, and it is divided into the two broad areas. One, it is a physical, and second one, it is a historical. So, the principal component of a solar system, it is the sun maximum, I mean 99.86 percentage of the known mass, and it is dominatingly gravitationally. The sun four largest orbiting bodies, the gained planets account for 99 percentage of remaining mass, with Jupiter and Saturn together comprising more than 90%. That means, here the sun, it is a largest orbiting body, we know that, and it is almost 99 percentage of gases it will be there, and with a Jupiter and Saturn also. Here Jupiter and Saturn both it contain almost 90% maximum. Yeah, most of the large orbits, which are objects, it is around the sun or nearer to the plane of Earth's orbit. It is known as a elliptic. Yeah, previously ecliptic, that what we have seen, and similarly here also the Earth object, it is known as a ecliptic. The planets are very close to the ecliptic moment, it is very close to the ecliptic, whereas comets and Kuiper belts objects are frequently significantly which are greater angles, which are having the greater angles, according to that they will be moving. The most of the planets, almost all the planets in a solar system which have a secondary system, and they are being orbited by the planetary object. So, naturally they are moving and naturally they are absorbing, so that we are calling those are all natural satellite. The example for moon, and two of which one it is a Titan and second one it is a Ganymede. Those are the larger than the planet of Mercury. In the case of the four gained planets by planetary rings, thin bands which have, and small particles, the tiny particles which are orbits in a unison level. Yeah, as per Kepler laws, Kepler he was a famous scientist, and he described the movement of different objects, either maybe it is a eclipse or ellipse, that we see. Kepler laws, each objects which travel along the an ellipse with the sun at one focus. Yes, based on this, the objects may be which are closer to the sun, suppose with a smaller semi major axis, as per axis, according to this axis the planets will be moving. Then which are travel more quickly, because they are more and more affected by the sun gravity, that is playing. So, due to this sun gravity, these objects or planets whatever it is moving according to the major or semi major axis. Next one, in a elliptical orbit, a body, it is a distance from the sun and which varies over the course of its year. a body it's a closest approach to the sun, we know that it is calling as a perihelion. It is called as a perihelion, whereas it is a most distance point from the sun. It is known as, or it is called as aphelion. It is called as a aphelion. So, here there are two terms we have, two terms, listen carefully, two terms. What it is that the first one, it is perihelion. In a perihelion, what is happening? The objects whatever it is very close approaching to the sun, that is called, the word it is called as a perihelion. In a second case, the second term or second word, it is speaking about that it is maintaining the distance, the most distance point from the sun, it is called as a aphelion. These two words are important to us. Almost, although the sun it is dominates the system by a mass, it accounts for only roughly 2% or 3 about the angular momentum it is maintaining. The planets maximum which are dominated by the Jupiter, yes, definitely Jupiter it is dominating, then which is account for the most of the rest of angular momentum due to the combination of their mass, orbit and distance from the sun. So, that is a main and it is sometimes possibly the significant contribution from the different comets. Yeah, the sun which comprises nearly all the matters in a solar system, it is composed roughly 98% of hydrogen and helium. Exactly, this is, it is not roughly, almost 98% of hydrogen and helium it is contained the sun. And next one, it is a Jupiter and a Saturn, that is also we will see, and it comprises nearly all the remaining matter whatever it is that the primarily it is composed of hydrogen and helium, the remaining 2% is whatever it is that it contain the same in a Jupiter and Saturn. Now, the other objects in a solar system, in inner solar system, which are composed mostly of a rock. Yeah, the collective name of compounds with high melting points, the high melting points also it is required for us, and such as a silicates contain, iron or nickel composition will be there in that one, and as well as the remaining body it contain the solid particles, and almost all the conditions in the protoplanetary nebula. It is a protoplanetary nebula we are calling, that is. Yes, it is maintaining some distance. We need to see the distance and scales, what it is a distance from the earth to the sun, or what it is a distance from sun to the one planet to the another. So, those distance also we have to study. Yeah, in the distance from earth to the sun, if you see that it is one astronomical unit, approximately we will say that is 15 crores kilometers, or one astronomical unit we are calling, that is. Yeah, if you wanted to compare, for a comparison of this radius of the sun, that is 0.0047 AU. AU means astronomical unit. You see the distance, this is just a example what I am saying to you. The distance from the earth to the sun, it is a 1 astronomical unit, you consider, you note that point, 1 astronomical unit. You see how it is a distance, what is a great distance from earth to the sun. If you see that is in a kilometers, approximately it is 15 crores kilometers from sun to the earth, and the radius, if you wanted to see that radius, the radius also it is very important to us. The sun radius approximately it is 0.0047 astronomical unit. Approximately it is 7 lakh kilometers of radius it has. So, you see what it is a great radius it has. Almost the sun which occupies the 0.0001% of volume of a sphere with radius within the size of Earth's orbit. Whereas Earth volume, I mean the Earth's volume, it has a volume. The volume it is roughly 1 million. 1 million, that is a 10 to the power of minus 6. We can say that is 1 million that of a sun. Then Jupiter, next one, if you see the Jupiter, Jupiter it is a largest planet. What about this astronomical unit? It has a 5.2 astronomical unit. Previously what we see our Earth, that is a 1 astronomical unit. You see what it is the difference between the Jupiter and the Earth. So, now it is a distance from the sun almost 5.2 astronomical units from the sun, and has the radius approximately 71,000 kilometers. Whereas the most distant planet, the Neptune, it is 30 astronomical unit from the sun. The distance, you see how it was from Neptune to and sun. The further a planet or a belt, it is from the sun, the largest distance it is maintaining, the largest distance between in orbit and next nearer to the object of sun also. Come into the sun. We know that sun it is playing the very important role in a solar system. The sun is the solar system stars by far. It is a most massive massive component it is. It has a large mass, 3,32,900 earth masses, and which produces the temperatures and densities in its core. It is high and enough to sustain the nuclear fission of hydrogen into the helium, and it is making the main sequence star. The composition, we know that the sun composition has hydrogen and helium. The sun, it is a G2 type of main sequence of a star. Mainly it has a hotter, and main sequence of stars are more and more luminous. The sun's temperature, maybe it is intermediate between that hottest star and that of the coal star or coolest stars. So, it is producing, and it is giving you huge amount of temperature, and it is releasing onto the surface. The sun, it is a population star. It has a higher abundance elements, and sometimes it heavier than hydrogen and helium, and some metals also will be there. Some elements behavior also we will see. The element behavior than that hydrogen and helium, which were formed in the course of ancient and exploding stars. So, the first generation of stars had to die before the universe. Universe could be enriched with these atoms. It is full of atoms. The other planets, yes, there are four terrestrial planets or inner planets we have, and it has a dense, they have a dense and rocky compositions. Few or no moons and no ring systems. There are three inner planets we have. Those are Venus, Earth and Mars. These planets have an atmosphere substantially enough to generate weather. Yes, definitely, which are producing the good weather, and which are all have impact craters and tectonic subsurface features also, which are having, and as well as which are having the rift valleys and volcanoes also. The next one, inner planet, the next term or the next word, inner planets. Inner planets should not be confused with the inferior planet, with designates those planets that are closer to the sun and to the earth. Very close to the sun than earth. Those are Mercury and Venus. Yes, the four terrestrial planets are inner planets which are have a dense and rocky compositions. Are there no moons and no ring systems in a terrestrial planets of or inner planets, and we compare with that one. Here these are all different. The inner planets are different. Mercury and Venus, we say. Yeah, Mercury, it is closest to the sun, or it is a closest planet to the sun, and smallest planet in a solar system. Smallest planet in a solar system, and the distance it is also required to us. What it is, maybe distance. The distance, it has a 0.4 astronomical unit from the sun. Again 0.055 earth masses it has. Is there any satellites? No, it does not have any natural satellite. So, that Mercury does not have any natural satellites. Coming to the Venus. Venus, it is also close in a size to the earth. The distance also we need to know from the sun. It is a 0.7 astronomical unit from the sun. It has a thick silicate mantle like earth, and it is a composition of iron, and the silica mantle, it is surrounding by the iron core material or iron core, and it has substantial atmosphere, and evidence of internal geological activity. Based on that we can say. And third planet, it is an important planet, we know that we are living on that, that is called Earth. The distance, what it is, may be a distance from the sun, it is a 1 astronomical unit. I told you that is 1 astronomical unit from the sun, and it is the largest and densest in a inner planets. That is, yeah, only we know here the current geological activity, what it is happening on this earth, and the only place where the life it is known to exist on a earth. Yeah, next one, it is Mars. In a Mars, we know the distance from the sun, that is a 1.5 astronomical unit from the sun. It is smaller than Earth and Venus, and it has a 0.107 Earth masses. It does not have any atmosphere. Mostly it has a carbon dioxide with surface pressure of 6.1 millibars, and roughly it is a 0.6 of percentage of Earth. The remaining 4 outer planets, those are all called gain planets. Sometimes we are calling the same as a Jovian planets. Jovian planets. Yeah, collectively it's a make up 99 percentage of their mass, which are known to the orbit to the sun. And Jupiter and Saturn are together over 400 times the mass of Earth, and consists overwhelmingly, it is a maximum of hydrogen and helium. The Uranus and Neptune, the remaining two are Uranus and Neptune, are far less massive and composed primarily which are having the ice material. So, this is all about solar system, and particularly we have to keep in our mind, one it is the word, one it is perihelion, and second one it is aphelion. We know that perihelion means the its very closest approach to the sun, and aphelion, it is a distance away from the sun. These two words we have to keep in our mind. These two words are important, and Kepler laws also important here. So, finally, we have inner planets and outer planets in our solar system.